Hey gang, Reloading Bench back again for another video. I recently picked up what I would call probably the smallest addition, also the cheapest, to my bench in a very, very long time. This particular device I saw advertised on Hornady's 2018 catalog, and Midway had it in stock for a few days, so I picked one up. And as you can see, it's essentially a primer catch. And what normally comes with the lock and load is a tube, this size clear tube that you just run off into a waste can or whatever. So originally I had, in fact, still got primers in it, I had a very similar idea, a little more generic and not quite as fancy and definitely not as red. But I had my tube running into the top of this tube, and I had some magnets on here, so I had this mounted to the bottom of my bench, so it essentially wouldn't tip over, and because it will tip without the magnets, the weight and the movement. So the arm, the ram going up and down obviously moves this tube a little bit just because the press pushes in against the tube and flexes a little bit, but it was never a big deal. But what I found happening was, and the reason I wanted to move away from this design, was there would be, because of the kinks in the tube, there would be primers stuck that I couldn't see that were maybe 3 or 4 inches or whatever, just because of the bend in the tube. And when I pulled the tube out of this container to maybe set it back on the Inline Fab wall mount away from the bench here, I'd have primers all over the floor. So I picked this up. I won't obviously fill it up or keep it filled because that's just weight that will drag against the little hookup in there. I did not use the little C-clamp that came with it. I just used a zip tie, which is what I've been using for years and years. Let's see, I get it to you. Hang in there, and it's worked out pretty well. So no complaints. It's like $8. Ordered it with some other stuff, so I wasn't really getting hit with the shipping for one single item. But for the $7.99 and what it is and what it does, I call it a winner. So a nice addition to the press.